Welcome to Prayer and Bible Band, Lesson 5 Bible Study. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's topic is Running with a Purpose. The background reading is coming out of Proverbs chapter 6, verse 18, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 26, Galatians chapter 5, verse 7. The devotional reading is coming out of 2 Samuel chapter 18, verses 19 through 33. And this is the reading for the Amplified Version of 2 Samuel chapter 18, verses 19 through 33. Then Ahimaaz the son of Zadok said, "Let me run and bring the king news that the Lord has vindicated him by rescuing him from the power of his enemies." But Joab told him, "You are not the man to carry news to King David today, but you shall carry news another day. On this day you shall carry no news, because the king's son is dead." Then Joab said to the Cushite, Ethiopian, "Go tell the king what you have seen." And the Cushite bowed to Joab and ran. Then Ahimaaz the son of Zadok said again to Joab, "But whatever happens, please let me also run after the Cushite." Joab said, "Why should you run, my son, seeing you will have no messenger's reward for going, because you have only bad news? But whatever happens, let me run." So Joab said to him, "Run." Then Ahimaaz ran by the way of the plain of the Jordan River and outran the Cushite. Now David was sitting between the two gates, and the lookout went up to the roof of the gate by the wall. And when he raised his eyes and looked, he saw a man running alone. The lookout called down and told the king. The king said, "If he is alone, he has good news to tell." And he came nearer and nearer. Then the lookout saw another man running, and he called to the gatekeeper and said, "Look, another man running alone." The king said, "He also is bringing good news." The lookout said, "I think the man in front runs like Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok." The king said, "He is a good man and is coming with good news." And Ahimaaz called out and said to the king, "All is well." And he bowed before the king with his face to the ground and said, "Blessed be the Lord your God, who has handed over the men who lifted up their hands to fight against my lord the king." The king asked, "Is the young man Absalom safe?" Ahimaaz answered, "When Joab sent the king's servant and your servant, I saw a great turmoil, but I do not know what it was about." The king told him, "Step aside, stand here." And he stepped aside and stood still. Behold, the Cushite Ethiopian arrived and said, "Let my lord the king receive good news, for the Lord has vindicated you today by rescuing you from the power of all those who stood against you." The king asked the Cushite, "Is the young man Absalom, my son, safe?" The Cushite replied, "May the enemies of my lord the king and all those who rise against you to do evil be dead like that young man is." The king was deeply moved and went to the upper room over the gate and wept in sorrow. And this is what he said as he walked: "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, how I wish that I had died instead of you. Oh, Absalom, my son, my son." The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.